Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Chris Mazzarella, and you're watching No Reserve Classics. And before we get started, guys, if you haven't done it already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, because you never know, your dream ride could be in the next video. And here we have it, guys, already registered in the Boss 302 registry and was restored back in the 90s with a concourse restoration where it sat in a museum for the past 20 years and is here now, available. The 1970 original Grabber Blue Boss 302 Mustang. And underneath the hood, you're gonna notice the matching numbers, 302 cubic inch motor, and attached to that is the correct 4-speed close ratio manual transmission and the Ford 9-inch rear end with 350 gearing. On the exterior, an original Grabber Blue color still retains that with the awesome 302 package, Blackout package on the hood, the reflective decals on the side, and the Blackout tailpan as well. Still sporting all of the factory chrome, and we put upgraded Magnum 500 wheels on there with those white letter BF Goodrich radial TAs. Now, if you wanted to bring this vehicle back to its former glory, we're also bringing back the 15-inch wheels with the steel belted tires. And as we open the door, we're taking a step back in time with a well-restored, no-frills, race car-inspired interior with the vinyl high bucket seats, seat belts, heating, fully working dash illumination and all the gauges function, and that awesome AM radio. On the underbody, super solid and super stout, also matching that Grabber Blue paint underneath, has been coated with a rust preventive film to help you really check out all those factory stampings and color markings that would have been done back as it would have rolling off the showroom floor in 1970. So now is your opportunity, guys, for you at home to drive a well-restored piece of American racing history that was thrown in a museum for 20 years. Now you are able to actually take this car back on the road and live its former glory. So if you're interested in getting this car into your garage, feel free to give me a call, Chris, at 1-800-562-7815, and I'll be sure to guide you through the full process. Now, also included with the sale of this Boss 302 Mustang is the Elite Marty Report. It also includes an original style window sticker as well as all the options from top to bottom, reflecting the car that you see right here with me today and reflecting the car that rolled off the showroom back in 1970. And I know you guys can't be with me here today, but if you visit us at No Reserve Classics, you'll be able to view the beautiful exterior of this car with a 360-degree virtual tour. And after you're done with that, hop over to the inside for another virtual 360-degree tour. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to hear this Boss 302. Here we go. Woo-hoo! Oh man, I'm just closing my eyes and letting that motor purr. Oh baby. All right guys, well I don't know about you, but I'm ready to take a ride back in time with this Boss 302 Mustang. All right guys, so we have liftoff. Man, this is just like taking a stroll back in time. The original style of this Grabber Blue, and that's what it does. The outside just grabs that attention, and as soon as you see it, you got that blacked out hood package on the top, as well as going down the sides with those 302, letting everybody know you got not 290 horsepower in this bad boy, right about 17 seconds in the quarter mile, which in 1970 was fast. I mean, you would go down, take a turn, get this baby right into second gear, and see somebody that you like, and just take right off on them. I mean, it was simply amazing. The times back then were so much simpler, just like this car. Now imagine this. You get out of high school and you sit in this car, you open the door and everybody looks at you, you start the engine, that 302 is rumbling, the high output engine is rumbling, and you get in the car, and they didn't make any automatics in the Boss 302s. Only 4-speed manuals, and this is a car that has to be driven. And what do I mean by that? I mean, this car has no power steering, it's a manual, there's no amenities, no air conditioning, no center console, strictly a race car. And what really makes this car unique is, being a race car back then, was people would just drive these cars, blow them up, throw another motor in there and call it a day. This vehicle not only has the matching numbers engine, but the matching numbers transmission as well. So you have the 4-speed manual transmission, you're going through all the gears, enjoying yourself with this Hurst T-shifter over here, just cruising. I mean, the suspension that's in this vehicle is the factory competition suspension. The underbody of this car is super clean. They actually coated it with a clear rust preventative on this car, so you're able to drive this car on the roads and not really have to worry about doing any damage to the underbody of this vehicle. And what's cool about that is that this vehicle actually has all the correct markings. Why? Because this vehicle we restored about 20 years ago to concourse restoration and then thrown into a museum where it sat for the last 20 some odd years. And if we look down here at the odometer, 165 miles on it. So that means that the restoration on this vehicle doesn't even have 200 miles on it, which leads me to my next point. The interior. It not only smells new, but it feels new as well. Not a crack in the dash. The gauges are very clean and clear. Everything's working. All the lighting is on. I mean, it is a great feeling to get in a vehicle like this that you can actually pretty much picture yourself getting this car off of the showroom floor and driving it. It's only about a week or two old, realistically, with 166 miles on it now. So enough of me talking about this car. Why don't you guys take my position over here and drive the car yourself? See how you like it. Let's pull over and you guys enjoy the next few minutes. On the exterior, this vehicle now features the Magnum 15-inch Magnum 500 wheels wrapped in the BF Goodyear Radial TA white letter tires. Now included with the sale are the original steel wheels with the oval belted tires. Not safe to drive, which is why we have these tires on here right now. But if you wanted to put this vehicle back into a museum style setting, you could just throw those on there. It comes with it. But the outside of this car, it's a Boss 302, right? That's why you're watching this video. That's why you're looking at this car. It is an attention getter. I mean, the blackout package on the hood, the factory style headlights on here, the way the styling of this car transformed from a 69 to a 70, so no more fake scoops on the side, functional front and rear spoilers. I mean, this car has it all. It even has the color matched correct mirrors on this car and the blacked out big boy tailpan on here. And I don't care what anyone says, back in 1970, they sure knew how to style these cars, baby. This is one car I definitely would have a poster on my wall as a kid. Definitely 100%. I mean, this Boss 302 does have about 290 horsepower, which today's cars have a lot more. We understand that, but back in 1970, this was the race car. This was the vehicle everybody wanted to drive. Although connected to a 4-speed manual transmission, I mean, these were high output motors. These were motors that were granted, their horsepower is counted at 5,200 RPMs. I mean, 290 horsepower, 5,200 RPMs, which means this is a high revving motor. You want to really get in this car, downshift. We're doing about 50 right now. And that's when this car really starts to hit the gas and it throws your head back. That's where this car really shines. I mean, shifting through the gears, very smooth, very just like butter. I mean, like I said, it just downshifted, pressed that clutch in, simply came out, fell right into place, just throw it right back into fourth there. Very nice, very comfortable, and just as comfortable as that are the brakes. It does have power disc brakes in this vehicle up front, so it gives you a lot of stopping power as opposed to the other Mustangs, which have drums all the way around. Now, this is considered a sports roof as opposed to the 69s, 68, 67s were fastbacks. Now, although you do have to put in some effort at a stop to get this steering wheel to turn because it is a manual steering box in here, it's rewarding. I mean, you really connect to the road with this vehicle. No frills, just straightforward American muscle, historic race car. And to the right of that dash, the original Philco AM radio, which still works. You get that little click of a button to know that the radio's on. Just so cool. And then right below that is our heating system with a simple flip of a switch. Put it to defrost over here. It's a little cold out today. I got the defrost. Got some nice warm air coming right out from that defrost, right on the windshield. And if it gets a little bit warmer outside and we didn't want to roll the windows down, we can actually pull this little lever here, push that down. All right, woohoo, that's really cold. That allows the outside air coming to the interior over here, giving us fresh air without having to roll the windows down. I mean, even the seating on this car feels like it was just installed yesterday. Very nice and plush. My hand fits over here comfortably on the door panel. That's in excellent condition. And our steering wheel. You have this awesome factory steering wheel in here with the functioning horn. How cool is that? I mean, normally you'll see a lot of these steering wheels with a bunch of cracks in here. This one is in mint condition, very nice. I mean, listen, it's not a brand new car, which has all this crazy leather wrap stuff. Really simple. We got a nice little grip in here where we need to turn. Keeps our hands planted in here, really nice and smooth. It's hard to realize that this car is 52 years old. It is such an amazing feat It just looks like it rolled off the showroom floor yesterday. I mean, I hope when I'm 54, they can rebuild me to look this good. Wow, guys, that was so much fun. You really did an amazing job shifting through those gears and taking those turns. So guys, let's head back to the barn where we can show you guys a little bit more about this 1970 Boss 302. Well, that was so much fun. So now let's start to walk around this Boss 302 and we're gonna realize just how clean it is. And the reason that is because this vehicle was restored back in the 90s to a concourse restoration. After that, it sat in a museum where it was admired from a distance for over 20 years. So now is the opportunity for you at home to actually own and drive a restored race car. Now make no mistake, the attention-getting grabber blue paint was a factory option on this Boss. With retaining the factory color, this Boss also retains the factory correct styled 302 decals, which not only include the hood blackout package and the side reflective decals, but the blacked out trunk and tailpan as well. With an upgrade from 1969, they deleted some of the items such as the fake side scoops and then replaced the front and rear spoilers, not only making them functional, but stylish as well. With the factory correct ride height, you will notice the 15-inch Magnum 500 wheels that are wrapped in the BF Goodrich Radial TA white letter tires. Now don't worry, this vehicle will also come with the factory 15-inch steel wheels with oval belted tires. Overall, an iconic race car that now deserves its time to be admired, and not only from the outside, but from the inside as well. As we pop the hood to this Boss, we are gonna notice that 302 cubic inch motor. With larger port heads and staggered valve placement, it gives this 302 high output and high power capability. With a Holley 780 manual choke carburetor and a taller intake, this is what is considered a high RPM performing motor, with maximum horsepower at about 290 horsepower at 5,200 RPMs and a max torque of 290 foot-pounds at 4,300 RPMs. This Boss 302 competes with other high-performance small blocks, such as the Chevy DZ302, the Chrysler 340, and the AMC 360. It was a revolutionary engine made to compete in the SCCA Trans-American Series, and it could accelerate from 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds and took the quarter mile at 14.6 seconds, reaching a speed of 98 miles an hour, which in 1970 was a very impressive feat. And don't worry, with all that horsepower coming out of that high output engine, this vehicle was equipped with power disc brakes. But with all that being said, this was a race car, a factory built race car, and is such a unique opportunity to find a real Boss 302 with the original Boss 302 matching numbers engine. Remember, these cars were blown up and then brought back to life by having their motors warrantied out. So it is rare to find one that is not only original, but has been restored with less than 200 miles on it. With engine code 180266, it does match the VIN. And this vehicle also has the correct decals, from the Autolite decals down to even the caution fan decal that would have been installed coming out of the factory back in 1970. As we take a look at the interior, your eyes light up in doubt at just how well the interior has been restored. With a factory style interior and black vinyl bucket seats, you are taken back in time. The dash has little to no signs of wear, and even the steering wheel, with no cracks, fits comfortably in your hands just as it would have 52 years ago. All the gauges illuminate and function correctly, as well as the AM radio. With being a no-frills, factory-styled race car, there is no cup holder or center console, but just a factory Hurst 4-speed shifter that lets you be one with the road with that 4-speed close ratio manual transmission with the stamping RUG AW1, which indeed matches up with the Marty report just as well. Now just above that, it does have a functioning heater with a fan and even a manual side floor vent in the front that allows you to be cool inside the cabin. And even as we pop the trunk, this vehicle also has the factory Space Saver tire still located in the trunk. And last but not least, with safety in mind, the front passengers do have a 3-point styled seatbelt, and the rear passengers, if lucky enough to be a passenger, also have lap belts as well. Overall, a functioning, well-restored interior that not only looks brand new, but feels it too. Now, although we won't be able to see the underbody while we're driving, if you took this boss and put it on a 4-post lift, you'll be pleasurably surprised at just how clean, solid, and stout the underbody of this Mustang is. Now, just as if it would have arrived out of the dealership, you will notice the well-restored underbody with the matching grabber blue paint. It has been coated from front to back with a translucent rust protective film that will preserve the underbody for years to come. It does feature a sway bar, keeping this boss tight around turns in conjunction with the quick ratio steering. This vehicle is also equipped with factory competition suspension, which does still in fact retain the factory stampings even on the rear leaf springs. And if you're able to look close enough, you'll even notice factory stampings on the metal of this boss as well. And last but not least, that factory Ford 9-inch rear end. With the A-code axle and 350 gearing, it definitely lets you enjoy this American historical race car. And guys, I'm Chris Mazzarella, and you've been watching No Reserve Classics. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a call, Chris, at 1-800-562-7815. And if you guys haven't done it already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you never know, your dream ride could be in the next video.